where's God's response? We wonder, will suffering then have the last word? Will despair be triumphant in the life of a man dedicated to obeying God? God says in chapter 1, before you were born, I set you apart, and I appointed you as prophet to the nations.
Among your wrath, please love, restore your servant, Lord. Or let a father's prove, like an avenger's sword. Your arrows stick in my heart, my flesh is sorely pressed. Between the sorrow, the smart, my spirit finds no rest.
Why is he not acting? And if we don't have a theology of suffering, if suffering doesn't fit to our idea of what Christianity is, then we'll say, better had I died in my mother's womb.
My sins a heavy burden over my head are gone, too heavy for me to bear. I cannot atone. My thoughts are like troubled seas, my head still bending down. I go mourning all the day beneath my Father's frown. You are my God, my only hope. My God will hear my cry. My God will bear my spirit up when Satan bids me to die.
Ephesians 1:4, for he, God, chose us in him, Christ, before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in his sight. Chosen to be happy, did it say? Chosen to be comfortable? Chosen to walk on easy street? No, God has chosen you to be holy, set apart for him, without blemish or stain of sin. And he is working that out in your life right now. And he is able to use the pain and sin and suffering of this world, even the works of the enemy, to accomplish his task. It's not your happiness, but your holiness, so that you might be able to dwell with God eternally. He has the end goal in mind. He knows what he's working towards, and it's in that way that he will be most glorified. Paul, writing from prison, expresses that the church in Ephesians, he says that it is able to manifest God's glory to the world, particularly brightly because of how we handle suffering and handle the troubles of the world.
My foot is ever apt to slide, my foes rejoice to see thee rise. The pleasure and the pride when they supplant my feet. But I'll confess my guilt to thee and grieve for all my sin. I mourn how weak my grace is being, beg support divine from thee. My God, forgive my fall is past and be forever nigh. My salvation hates before thy servant died. You are my God, my only hope. My God will hear my cry. My God will bear my spirit up when Satan bids me to die. You are my God, my only hope. My God will hear my cry. My God will bear my spirit up when Satan bids me to die.
But how? How can we be sure? How can we be sure that God is able to take oppression and suffering and turn it into our good and his glory? Because we have the cross. Jesus himself is the best example of this. He understood his calling. In the upper room, he says, I will not speak with you much longer. He's saying, I don't have a lot of time, for the prince of the world, we call him Satan, is coming. Don't worry, he has no hold on me. He can't handle me. But the world must learn that I love the Father, and that I do exactly what my Father has commanded me. Perfect God who took on humanity so that he might show perfect obedience, take on our sin and punishment that we deserve, and conquer the power of sin and death by rising again. And yet God used it for the greatest good possible. The redemption and justification of his people. Your redemption, my redemption, which results in God's greatest glory.